Hi, today we're going to be analyzing Sambusha's pronunciation with the trusty website Wiktionary. First off, it is important to mention that Sambusha lives in New Jersey and has a New Jersey accent, as stated on his Twitter account and this following clip.
Big struggle with saying because I have like a New Jersey accent. Aunt. I would never really say aunt, it's just not really my style.
His pronunciation does align with the general American dialect, which is aunt. The pronunciation of aunt or similar is mostly reserved to Commonwealth countries.
Caramel. There's an A there, so you can't really say caramel.
In the Wikipedia article about Philadelphia English, which also includes New Jersey, it mentions a merry distinction. Sambusha's pronunciation aligns with the distinction by pronouncing it caramel. Funny enough, the pronunciation of caramel also occurs in the US.
This is root, although in certain contexts I'd say route, just kind of depends.
This one is a little interesting, since the pronunciation root is most reserved to Commonwealth countries. However, both pronunciations also show up in the US, so the fact that he says both is an alien.
Espresso, 10 out of 10 times. There's no X there, so you can't say espresso.
He is indeed correct. All of the pronunciations with K are described as proscribed or incorrect by many.
This is data. Data's a bit pretentious. I don't really like people who say that.
This is interesting because the pronunciation of data is more spread in the American continent than data. However, both do still appear in the US.
Pajamas. Not sure what the alternative is there.
This is where his dialect plays a role here. In all parts of North, West, and Midland US, it's pajamas. However, in the South and specifically Mid-Atlantic, it's pajamas.
This is GIF, not GIF, because GIF would be with the J.
Where he comes from does not matter. Both pronunciations are simply preferences.
Syrup. I know that Canadians say syrup, but I'm American.
In Wiktionary, there's only mentions of RP and American pronunciations, in which Americans also pronounce it syrup. The only mention of Canadians saying syrup is in this article. And even so, syrup is in Canada as well.
This is crayon. Again, not sure what the alternative is here.
This is where his dialect plays a role here again. What he was saying was a New Jersey dialect, which is marked as rare in the US. However, my friend and I had a debate on whether there was an I in his speech or not.
I say either or either, ironically.
In Wiktionary, the pronunciation with E is more common in North America. However, the usage heavily varies by individual and situation. So it isn't weird that he says both.
Pecan, if I'm feeling fancy, otherwise pecan.
I refuse to analyze this. All I can say is his normal pronunciation is spoken by 7% of the US speakers, and his fancy pronunciation is sometimes used if unstressed.
And then finally, drawer, which I've had a real big struggle with saying because I have like a New Jersey accent, but what do you guys think?
His pronunciation does align with the US pronunciation here, but I could not find anything about New Jerseyans having trouble pronouncing drawer.
So that's poem. I know some people extend the E, they're like poem.
Both poem and poem are American.
Mischievous, or no, mischievous. No, mischievous, yeah.
Mischievous is regarded as non-standard in Wiktionary. Mischievous or mischievous is more standard. It is interesting to note that in this video,
I say mischievous, but I like mischievous a bit better.
He mentions that he likes saying mischievous more than mischievous.
That's asked. That's a tough word, asked.
That's funny. He ejected both K and T there. In Wiktionary GA, the K isn't usually sounded out.
Envelope, not envelope. That would be an ON.
Both pronunciations are American. Don't be a prescriptivist.
That's coupon with a Q. I know it's phonetically wrong, but coupon is just weird to say.
Again, both are American in Wiktionary.
That's Nevada, not Nevada, but I'm East Coast.
His pronunciation is typical of an East Coast. Nevadans would pronounce it closer to something like Nevada.
Celtic, like the Boston Celtics. Some people say Celtic, I think.
Celtic is regarded as dated in Wiktionary, so Sambusha is still stuck in the 19s.
New Orleans, not New Orleans. That's pretty amateur.
The way he pronounces Orleans is of a New Orleanian speaker. Outside of New Orleans, it is dated. Is Sambusha trying to pronounce it like a New Orleanian or?
That's Creek. Don't know what else people would say.
Nothing worth mentioning about Sambusha's pronunciation. The other way you could pronounce it is Crick, which is from Appalachia.
And then finally, Worcestershire sauce. Just sound it out.
We're only going to focus on the Worcestershire part here. So, there are numerous ways to pronounce Worcestershire. I've broken it into 3 different syllables in this table. W-O-R-C-E-S can be pronounced Wis, Wis, or Worsh. And Shire can be pronounced Shire, Shire, or Shire, say a few. Interestingly, none of them splits W-O-R-C-E-S into 2 syllables. I'll leave this for you to decide if he's pronouncing it correctly.
I'd just say guac, but guacamole or guacamole.
Only the American pronunciation examples are given. I guess the Brits don't eat guacamole. The term derives from Spanish, which is pronounced guacamole.
I know that's pho. I enjoy a good pho.
Excluding tones, the pronunciation, or at least his, is one-on-one with Vietnamese, which is what the word is derived from. Interestingly, some people say pho, which is very English typical.
Gnocchi. Whenever I say this, you guys say I say it wrong, but it's gnocchi.
So far, Wiktionary does not mention anything about pronouncing it like a gnocchi. The closest to his pronunciation is General American gnocchi. The term is derived from Italian, which is pronounced gnocchi.
Gyro. I used to say gyro.
His pronunciation, gyro, is not listed on Wiktionary. The closest is gyro. Gyro is often proscribed. The term is from Greek gyros.
Charcuterie. Might be charcuterie, but who cares? It's French.
His first pronunciation is not in Wiktionary at all. His second, however, is listed in the US variant, and indeed the word is French. I am not great at pronouncing this word, so I'll let Wiktionary pronounce it for me.
Charcuterie.
Croissant. Like, I'm not going to say croissant in America. That'd just be dumb.
Interestingly, croissant is also a US pronunciation according to Wikipedia. The word is from French, pronounced croissant.
I was originally taught win, but then I was taught it was in when, so I don't know.
Its original pronunciation is a typical IPA pronunciation. However, how he was later taught the pronunciation is of an American. The term is derived from Vietnamese, pronounced Nguyen.
And then acai. Love a good acai bowl.
Once again, American pronunciation. The term is derived from Portuguese, and depending on Brazil or Portugal, it's pronounced açaí or açaí.